I was on a road trip, exhausted from driving all day, when I spotted a small, dilapidated motel just off the highway. The neon sign flickered as if it hadn't worked properly in years. Desperation got the better of me, so I pulled in, parking near the entrance. The lobby was empty, except for an old man behind the counter who looked like he hadn't left his post in decades. His eyes were dull, almost lifeless, as he handed me the key to room 13. "Only room available," he muttered without looking up. I didn't care about the superstitions surrounding the number 13. All I wanted was a bed. The hallway leading to my room was eerily quiet, the air thick with an unidentifiable odor. The wallpaper was peeling, and the carpet squished underfoot, as if it had absorbed years of unspoken secrets. When I entered room 13, a wave of unease washed over me. The room was cold, much colder than the hallway. The bed was unmade, sheets crumpled as if someone had just left. A mirror hung crookedly on the wall opposite the bed, its surface smeared with what looked like handprints. I tried to shrug off the discomfort, attributing it to my exhaustion. I crawled into bed, pulling the covers over me, and shut my eyes. But sleep didn't come. Instead, the room grew colder, and I felt a presence, something unseen but undeniably there. A soft whispering filled the room, words I couldn't understand. My heart raced as I sat up, scanning the dark corners. The mirror caught my eye, the smudges on its surface shifting as if being erased by invisible hands. Then, in the dim light, I saw it, a face, pale and gaunt, staring back at me from the mirror, its eyes hollow and dark. Panic surged through me as I grabbed my bag and bolted from the room. As I reached the hallway, the door slammed shut behind me, the sound echoing down the corridor. I ran to the lobby, but the old man was gone. The motel was silent, devoid of any sign of life. I fled to my car, driving away as fast as I could. In my rearview mirror, the neon sign flickered one last time before plunging into darkness. I didn't stop until I reached the next town. When I tried to explain what had happened to the two girls who worked at the next motel, they just shook their head. "That motel burned down years ago," they said. "No one's been there since." Traveling for work, I found myself at a rundown motel on the edge of a small town. It was the only place with a vacancy, so I checked in, feeling uneasy as I walked into the shabby lobby. The night clerk, a thin man with sunken eyes and a sickly complexion, handed me the key to room 6. His bony fingers brushed against mine, sending a chill through my spine. "If you need anything, don't hesitate to call," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. The room was as unwelcoming as the rest of the motel, stale air, dim lighting, and the distinct smell of mildew. I tossed my bag onto the bed and decided to take a shower, hoping it would help me unwind. As I stood under the lukewarm water, I heard it, a soft tapping, almost like fingers drumming against the wall. I froze, listening. The tapping grew louder, more insistent. I shut off the water and stepped out, wrapping a towel around myself. The tapping continued, coming from the other side of the wall. I pressed my ear against it, and the sound abruptly stopped. My pulse quickened as I backed away. Suddenly, the phone on the nightstand rang, its shrill tone slicing through the silence. I hesitated before picking it up. "Hello?" No answer. Just heavy breathing, and then, faintly, the tapping resumed, but this time it was coming from inside the room. My eyes darted around, searching for the source. The closet door was slightly ajar, and the tapping was louder now, echoing from within. I gathered the courage to approach it, my heart pounding in my chest. With a trembling hand, I pulled the door open. The tapping ceased, revealing only darkness inside. But something wasn't right. The air was thick, oppressive. Then I saw it, a pair of eyes, glinting in the dark, staring back at me. I stumbled backward, dropping the phone. The closet door slammed shut on its own, and the tapping resumed, more frantic than ever. I grabbed my belongings and fled the room. The night clerk was nowhere to be found as I sped out of the parking lot. When I looked in my rearview mirror, I swore I saw a figure outside my room's window watching me leave. I never stayed at another motel again.